Hi, Panda here from Arctic Panda Popz, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the Booster Course Pass, has just released a wave 3 with some interesting and really fun tracks in this pack, and here's our ranking of our least favourite to our favourite track in wave 3. Let's check it out. Boo Lake from the Game Boy Advance update here has seen some improvements. I do appreciate that now there's a few more jumps being added, there's an underwater section, but overall I feel like this level and this version of the Boo Lake is kind of just lacking some details, and it has possibly got some of the worst corners in any track I've played so far, and overall it's not very rememberable, and I just didn't really feel it really. It's interesting how they had land and then put some stuff under the water, but I can't really say much more about it. London Loop from Mario Kart Tour is not particularly one of my favourites here. As from my previous Wave 1 and Wave 2 ranking videos, Mario Kart Tour levels in general aren't my favourite because I'm not a big fan of the Tour game, but there have been some good ones. But London here is just not very inspiring and doesn't quite have as many like key locations or things that pop out. It's a simple road level with a short section through a park. The one feature I do like is that on Wave 3 the chain chomps that are chained up get loose, so you've got to try and avoid them, and I thought that was a neat touch. Also, you can do a jump on Tower Bridge. It's not London Bridge, it's Tower Bridge. I know it's a common mistake, but it's Tower Bridge they've put in this one. London Bridge is flat. That's a little bit of extra bonus for you there. Overall, depends how much you're a fan of London, but I thought some of the other city levels they've had in this game based off real world locations are far superior. Rainbow Road from the 3DS is an interesting choice here. It's an A to B track, and what this means, instead of having laps, you basically start at one point, and as you go around it counts it as laps, but basically A to B means none bits of the track are repeated, so basically it's just like a sprint more than a lap based race, which is always interesting to see because obviously these tracks can be a bit longer and you can put some different things in, and here they've put a right mixture in. There's parts where you're driving on like the rings that look a bit like Saturn, you drive along a moon base section with some rocket ships that kind of remind me of the rockets from Pikmin, there's some chain chomps, there's some tunnels to go through with booster pads, and there's even like a gliding section. If you miss the gliding you've got to take some different routes, but if you manage to do the gliding there's like special hoops to go through to speed up the boost, and overall it's just got that interesting vibe because it's going from A to B. Peach Gardens from the Nintendo DS Mario Kart is an interesting track because it's actually one of the ones I do remember playing on the DS. Now this is a nice Princess Peach themed level here based on the gardens around a castle, and what I like about this one, it's kind of got like a nice pleasant vibe to it, but we've got some extra chain chomps in there to cause some chaos, and also the appearance of Monty Mole who's digging some pathways and then pops up that you have to try and avoid. What's also interesting in this one is that on the third lap it changes the route and you have to like loop round, and you're kind of going back on yourself a little bit, so you have to try and like avoid people coming from the other direction as well, which we've seen on some of the tour levels, but it's interesting to see this in a DS level done here. And aesthetically it just looks really nice. It's just nice to have a track based around the gardens around Princess Peach's castle, and overall it just has a good vibe, and it's just a classic level I find from the DS. If I was going to choose classic tracks from the DS, this would probably be on that list. It also has a few sections where you can glide, and you have to try and choose routes around the garden to try and avoid the chain chomps, so you get like patches where it's like a bit of a more open square section but with little flower arrangements and grass statues. Berlin Byways from Mario Kart Tour, although it's similar to London Loop, I feel this one just a bit more different. I feel like it's more iconic locations of Berlin, and overall this Berlin track just has some more interesting turns, track layouts, how each lap is a little bit different, and some iconic locations including the Berlin Wall, which I enjoyed. There's a swamp in that falls down as well. I feel overall it just has a better flow than London Loop, and this is surprisingly one of those tour levels I actually quite like in Mario Kart 8, so this is a good addition. And although I hadn't mentioned on previous tracks, I quite like the song in this one. This one definitely stuck in my head a bit more, and it suits the level, so I think that's a good addition as well. Alpine Pass from the Mario Kart game on the 3DS to me is iconic for one reason. This is the one they really showed off a lot in trailers. It's the main track I remember from Mario Kart 7 that they always showed, and I think because it was the gliding. This is one moments where like you come out of that cave, you come to the big jump, and then you're gliding down. There's some big green pipes that can blow you out the way, and to me that was iconic of Mario Kart 7 because they were like, look, gliding is our new thing, check out how cool it is. But overall this level has got some things going for it. You've got some risky cliff edges, you go through a cave, you open up to this awesome looking valley that you glide through, and then you've got this dangerous climb up this steep hill while boulders are trying to get you and you're trying to hit all the speed pads. Overall they've kept it similar here in the Mario Kart 8 version, except for they've added some of those anti-grav sections with the little bumpers that can speed you up as you go up the hill. But overall it just has a good flow, it's got enough different things going, and that's why I rate it so highly. Also, the music in this track is really good, but very strange because whilst listening to it now, I just realized it sounds very much like either Sonic the Hedgehog or something you'd hear in F-Zero. It's got some cool electric guitar solos, and I just feel like it's a cool mix for this style of track. Merry Mountain is Nintendo's brand new original track here, which they always do for each of these waves. I kind of wish they did more of these because they seem to be really on a roll with these original style tracks. So Merry Mountain sees a Christmas themed sort of mountain with presents on and some type of Santa train that's going around but flies, but occasionally lands on the track. So you have to avoid the train. But otherwise this track is a good mountain style track where you're going up the hill and then back down. There's a few shortcuts on the railway track. There's some jumps, there's some cool like half pipe jump near the top where you can get some more items, and then there's some speed boosts down and gliding down. Now I kind of wish this level was a little bit longer, but overall it's really good and just has a good winter Christmassy vibe going on, and it's really good to see Nintendo do these original tracks. I kind of wish they'd just have a wave of tracks that were just brand new. It's a shame to have just one new track hidden amongst so many other classics. But overall they've done well with their original track here. And the music overall is really good. It would seem like it would fit right into, say, Mario Galaxy. It just has that vibe when I'm listening to it, I'm going, that could easily be one of those levels in Mario Galaxy. You know, a bit more sort of like intense adventure, like something's going on, or a bit more an action-packed level that you got in Galaxy, which kind of just made me want to have more Galaxy games. But it's good when it rings true to you and it says something like, yeah, that makes me feel like it's part of the Mario universe. Comes as no surprise that number one on our list is Maple Tree Way from the Nintendo Wii Mario Kart game, as is a track that I mention quite a lot. If I'm ever in a discussion about Mario Kart to anyone, I'm always mentioning this track as one of my favourite tracks. It's just a great track. We've got this cool autumn feel, there's some nice flowing corners, they've got a cannon that shoots you out, you can pick up bonus mushrooms occasionally through piles of leaves, we've got some tricky like going across branch sections that you could fall off. We've got some wigglers moving about you've got to avoid, some more corners, some half pipe style jumps, and just overall a good vibe with some good hidden shortcuts as well in here. The only thing I don't like about this version is that they've taken the rope bridge away and just replaced it with a normal jump, and I thought that was kind of odd. I kind of enjoyed the rope bridge style thing, but overall this track just looks great, it feels great, and overall it's just that good vibe. And there were some great tracks that came out of the Nintendo Wii Mario Kart, and this is one of them. And the music for this track is good as well, kind of just suits this nice journey through this autumn forest. So there you go, that's my ranking of Wave 3 of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. What a mouthful. You can either buy these packs separately or through the Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pass. If you've got that, you can also have access to these tracks, but you need an active membership. And overall, yeah, this Wave 3 I feel like was a strong set of tracks. Overall good, not really any particularly bad tracks, and it was a good selection. So thank you for joining us on this video. Remember to like and subscribe. Thank you to our Twitch subscribers and patrons, and thank you to everyone else who's donated and helped support the channel. You can find out more in the links below, and we'll see you next time. Bye.